ruled in the Hobby Lobby case that the company does not have to set aside its religious convictions on birth control to comply with a government mandate. And then at the same time, of course, the High Court let stand a New Mexico ruling that said a wedding photographer who refused to photograph a gay wedding was violating the state's Human Rights Act. So when you think about these various cases, how would you assess the current climate for religious liberty?
Well, I think right now is an excellent time to be standing up for religious liberty. And I think there's two reasons for that. One is that we have very significant challenges to religious liberty taking place nationwide. And so we have people who are attempting, and governments that are attempting to force religious believers out of the public square. They're attempting to say that religion is something toxic and it's something that people can't participate in and fully embrace. And then also we have attacks by governments that are trying to attack religious beliefs in private life. So for instance, like the Hobby Lobby case that you just mentioned, where these are private business owners, private family business that since the 1970s has been working to advance their faith and have a business that allows their family to survive and provides employment for other folks. But also, now is a really good time to stand up for religious liberty because we are winning. We're winning overwhelmingly in the courts.
So when you look at the overall cases that are coming out right now in the courts, do you feel like religious liberty is winning more of the time?
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic for religious liberty. I mean, just look at the Supreme Court last year. So we have the federal government, the most powerful government in the world, the government that can put a man on the moon, they can put mail in your mailbox, their thermonuclear power. They lost 3 times at the U.S. Supreme Court in front regarding this issue of the abortifacient mandate, where they were trying to force ministries and family-run, faith-based businesses to provide abortion and contraceptive drugs in their health insurance policies. They lost in the Little Sisters of the Poor case at the beginning of the year last year. They lost in the Hobby Lobby case. And they lost again in the Wheaton College case.
When you look ahead to 2015, what are some of the big cases, the big battles that you're keeping an eye on?
Some of the cases that we see coming up in this next year are, for instance, the Holt v. Hobbs case, which is another Becket Fund case that has to do with whether prisoners can be protected and exercising their religious freedom in prison, which of course is incredibly important because, among other things, we see that faith dramatically decreases rates of recidivism. We also see more issues about the question of whether or not the federal government will ultimately be successful in forcing folks like the Little Sisters of the Poor to have to participate in a scheme to provide contraceptives to their employees. So these are just 2 very big cases that are coming up in the next year, and we have a lot of reason to expect that the courts will do the right thing because believers are doing the right thing.
And to see more of this interview,